Mitch Trubisky's post-game news conference lasted only 4 minutes Sunday. 4 morose and totally joyless minutes. It wasn't an all-out interrogation by any means, but it certainly had the feel of a visit to the principal's office with the Bears rookie left to answer a series of pointed questions on the team's latest unraveling. For the first time as an NFL starter, Trubisky had a two-interception game to explain. For the first time as a starter, he was left to detail a blowout loss with no silver linings. And if the day's final score, Eagles 31, Bears 3, felt altogether dispiriting, there was another heavy reality hovering. There are still 5 weeks left in this dreadful season, still 5 games to prepare for and play. In other words, the finish line of yet another lost season is nowhere in sight. Welcome to December in Chicago, kid, where the days grow shorter, the wind gets chillier and the need for mental fortitude becomes mandatory. This is where so many meaningless football seasons go to die. And it's now up to Trubisky to sharpen his survival skills, to navigate this grind with as much focus and energy as he can muster. Asked point-blank Sunday how he'd stay afloat amid the growing misery, Trubisky nodded, "One day at a time. That's it. It's just one day at a time." The quarterback's tone, and the whole line of questioning, really carried a funereal tone, representative of a team and a quarterback pushing to endure. Between now and New Year's Day, Trubisky will have to remain dedicated to his weekly improvement, realizing his development provides the only shreds of meaning in a no-empty stretch run. He will have to summon the dedication of an undertaker, conjuring up daily doses of positivity while surrounded by so much gloom. You can learn from every opportunity and every mistake, and every game you play, Trubisky insisted. Still, Sunday's failures were pronounced. The Bears needed 8 possessions before gaining a first down. They went to halftime with more penalty yards, 36, than total yards of offense, 33. And by day's end, there were more Trubisky turnovers 2 than Bears scoring drives 1, leaving the rookie to own up to his 2 interceptions. The weight of such mistakes only is intensifying with the Bears winless since October 22, their last victory. A surprise 173 domination of the Panthers came 20 days after Trubisky's promotion, a move that injected a hopeful city with so much anticipation and optimism. 36 days have passed, however, since that last win, with the Bears going 0-4 November for just the second time this century. The first time was last season. Meanwhile, Trubisky's own play has been ordinary for an offense that now ranks 29th in total yardage. It's enough to make you wonder how the Bears can stabilize Trubisky's confidence as the defeats pile up and his own inevitable struggles persist. At the very least, the young quarterback still seems to have the belief of many of his teammates. Mitch, fellow rookie Eddie Jackson said Sunday, "He always stays cool and humble no matter the situation, and he doesn't lose his cool. That's one thing I like about him, especially as an NFL quarterback." Receiver Dontrell Inman pointed to Trubisky's competitiveness as a positive sign and offered a comparison to his last quarterback, Philip Rivers. "Phil was an animal at all times," Inman said. "No matter the circumstances, you could be down 50 and he was still going to be grinding." Mitch had that Sunday. You could feel his fire, like, "Let's dig in. Let's keep going and find a way to make some plays." Trubisky's irritation late Sunday afternoon at the lopsided loss, at his own shaky play, was appreciated in pockets of the locker room, seen as evidence of a leader who will remain driven to turn things around. "I don't like losing," Trubisky said. "That's a big motivator for me. You just get that sick feeling from it." A scan of the winning locker room at Lincoln Financial Field offered quite a contrast in emotion. While the Bears discussed their ongoing depression, the buzzword running through the Eagles locker room was fun. The Eagles are having plenty of that right now, on a 9-game winning streak and positioned to have home field advantage through the NFC playoffs. Quarterback Carson Wentz, meanwhile, is widely credited as the catalyst of the resurgence. Wentz was surgical against the Bears, throwing for 227 yards and adding 3 TD passes to his league-high total 28. And when several Eagles players reflected on Wentz's ascent over the last year, their pride was palpable. Last year, on the Monday night after Thanksgiving, the Eagles lost 2,713 at home to the Packers. Part of a patience testing skit that saw them stumble 9 times in 11 games. Wentz had 16 turnovers and a 72.6 rating during that span. But even then, the Eagles say there were signs that his emergence was inevitable. It was the way he prepared. Tight end Zach Ertz said, "Obviously the talent was there, but in the city, it's not the easiest place to be at times, especially when you're losing like we were last year." But Carson's preparation never slipped. That, to me, was a testament to how much he loves the game and how much he loves his teammates. He never wants to let anyone down, added center Jason Kelce. First of all, you saw the tools. And then when you see and feel his desire, his competitiveness and all the other stuff, you just start to wait for it to all come together. I don't think he lets things eat at him. I think he moves on. It's an approach Trubisky will have to master in the final month of his rookie season. Left to steady a faltering team with an apparent limited coaching staff. A true turnaround for the organization. We'll have to wait until 2018 after another major overhaul. But in the meantime, the 23-year-old franchise quarterback has to remember that that's not an opening to let up in his daily investments to the grind. In the process of learning to win, Trubisky is stuck with the taxing task of properly handling failure. 5 more challenging weeks are ahead. Wiederer at ChicagoTribune.com. Twitter at Dan Wiederer. 10 thoughts on the Bears' 313 loss to the Eagles. David Ham. Most inept performance of John Fox era calls for immediate change at Hollis Hall. Bears can't stop the Eagles from dancing. If you don't want them to do it, stop them.